Hi guys, this is Chaplin. I'm currently in my dorm by myself. My sound is a bit weird. I've been having sore throat and coughing these days, and I just got my COVID test. I will get the result tomorrow, and I hope that it should just be a flu instead of a COVID thing, so people stay healthy. This sort of situation gotta get me a little bit feeling negative about myself, even though, negativity is what we're currently looking for here. I decided to tell you guys my actual personality test, which is INTJ. This will excuse me to not make further funny jokes that actually cannot make me laugh. Confession time. The reason that I'm also feeling so sad made me want to share with you guys a really important and bad experience I had these days regarding to international kids working in the US. So basically the story is this. I've told you guys that when I was in UChicago and there's career fair and resume fair, people talking about applying for jobs, applying for internship, even though it's your first year, you can still work and whatever, And then I was yeah, I should probably gain some experience. So I applied for quite a few. Let's just say that way. I mean, I want experience in certain fields, like in behavioral science. And just in the last week, the last week, I got to internship. And I was yay, I finally can have something to do other than studying in UChicago. But guess what? After I actually got the offer, I start to worry about the contracts and stuff, because some of my friends told me that you need work authorization in order to work in the US. So I searched it up for a bit, and I realized that according to US labor force law, I would not be able to start any of my internship that was offered. Yeah, so that's pretty sad, but in this video, I just wanted to share with you guys what I found for working in the US, even though a lot of you guys probably are still trying to apply for college, but there's definitely a point in the future where you will start to think about internship, full-time job, part-time job, unpaid internship, volunteer, activity in the US, and you definitely want to learn about those information before you actually apply those stuff, because I feel when I was applying, before I actually got those jobs, it's just the career advancement people, they don't really considered the scenarios of international kids applying for off-campus internship and then actually got them and wanted to work in the US. I don't know why, but that the eligibility and the let's say requirements according to the law is definitely not addressed. So I hope that you will never experience that kind of shitty thing again. So let's get into it. I just want to say that this video only applies to international students, so any student that is from non-US country that will be going to US college then will be studying more, maybe 4 or 3 or 2 years on education. So when you go to the campus, you can basically have two kinds of way of being employed. The first one is on-campus employment, the second one is off-campus employment. And for on-campus employment, you can basically think of it as something exploitation of cheap labor force from the university's perspective. They want students that are cheap, they want students that want earn money, they want students that actually can squeeze in this each hour that whatever they need them. So for international students on campus work authorization, there is probably no actual documents or any requirements that you really need to reach. You can go to the school first quarter, start your work on campus work. They'll give you an SSN when you start working, but you don't need to apply for any sort of documents. For off campus, it's a little bit tricky. So for off campus, if you got an internship, there is a document that you can apply for, which is called CPT, Curricular Practical Training, which is basically the documentation that you need to apply for whenever you got a off-campus job. It can be consulting, it can be internship in medicine, whatever. But I guess the only requirement is that you have to do jobs that are related to your academic study, or else they will have this assumption that you're here to make money. And there are quite a few eligibility for curricular practical training. So in order to apply for that, there is a specific number of period of time that you need to be enrolled in US college. So you have to enroll in on-campus study for 3 quarter, so basically a whole academic year. So the earliest time I can actually start my work, I registered from fall 2021. At 3 quarters, I can actually start from summer 2022. So the earliest time I can start to work is from that, and anything before that is illegal. So you don't want to like apply for a spring or whatever winter or fall internship. If you are an international student and you just arrived in U.S. college, that is illegal. Don't do that. Don't put yourself or the company that you're interning on risk. So yeah, this is the reason why I cannot do my internship. That's pretty sad, but it's just better to know like what's going on here and don't like step on those interesting red lines. And I believe for CPT, it's actually very easy to apply for international students. If you just want to apply for CPT, you can just, call the international affairs or any kind of international student organization that would offering like help in career, whatever. And they call them and see like what information that you need in order to apply for CPT. For our school, it's pretty easy. You just need to write a few documents and then you don't need to apply with any fee. You can basically get a CPT within 1 week. For different internship as well as like different quarters of internship, you need to do like separate application. Another thing is called OPT, but they have like 2 small branches of OPT. OPT is called, let's see what it's called. Optional practical training. You can basically think of it as what if you want to graduate and start working, and if you're an international student, you need to apply for extra documents. That basically allows you to have another working time of 12 months in the US after you graduate. This OPT can be divided into pre-completion, which is like pre-graduation OPT, and then post-completion OPT. So basically pre is that you want to work before you graduate, but you usually use CPT instead of OPT. And post-completion is usually for those people who want to work after they graduate in the colleges. And if you're doing a Bachelor of Science or any STEM-related majors, you can actually apply for something called STEM extension, which is that you can work for another 24 months instead of 12 months of working time. And if you really want to like keep working, you would need your like employer to help you to apply for H-1B, which is another like visa in the United States that allows you to work for extra time. I know that this is only first year and I know that you guys are only applying for colleges, but I just feel that this whole experience got me a little bit like topsy-turvy and I feel just a little bit like emotionally upset. My camera just died, but this is basically like most of the story and the information that I want to give you guys. So what I'm just saying is like the whole experience just upset me a lot, that I feel the urge to share with you guys this information whenever you are gonna like do any kind of work or any kind of like activity in the US that you are not sure like whether it allows you to do it, or probably think you need an authorization. Just like search for it before you, I guess, apply for it. Or else at the end of the day, it will probably be like a really, really bad situation for myself. I was almost scheduling an onboarding internship interview with my employer, and then I found that out and was like writing a 200 or 300 letter of email writing to him, and it's probably also a really upsetting and disappointing, and don't know what to do from his end. So try to avoid that. But that's basically it. I hope you guys found that information very helpful, and I will like put the rest of like I guess the useful information in the what is that called, down below, whatever thing. And yeah, for another video, let's just do a little bit of 首尾呼应. I guess like INTJ is something that I think that is like really, really low in personality, presentation in the whole population. But in like UChicago, I found like a great amount of people like being like INTJ. So the next video will probably be me like surveying around the campus, seeing what MBTI people are doing, and then do a small little study, statistical, let's say, analysis on MBTI of UChicago. Oh, by the way, please subscribe if you find 5% of this content like useful, and this will help me to have like greater support and emotional support, and then any sort of support to make future video and actually share information that would be useful to you guys or fun stuff. So subscribe, please.